Hey guys, welcome back to my weekly list, where I'll be covering mods for both Forge and Fabric released over the past week for Minecraft 1.16.5. If you didn't already know, two huge mods, Tinker's Construct and the Twilight Forest, were recently updated to work with the latest version, so definitely check those out too. Tactical Fishing adds a new useful mechanic. When fishing, if you place a bucket of water in your offhand slot, then the fish will go into the bucket when you catch it. After doing so, you'll need to place a fresh bucket of water in your offhand slot again. More totem effects will add a few new variants of the Totem of Undying. Some of the new options are the Totem of Feather Falling, Fire Resistance, Night Vision, Regeneration, Strength, Invisibility, and Water Breathing. Some totems have multiple tiers to them, which affect the duration that the effect will last. To use this mod, right-click while holding the totem to activate the effect. All these new totems have their own recipes too, so I'd recommend installing just enough items. Undead Army adds some new types of zombies which can be found roaming your world, or at the new ruined castle structure. They're quite powerful, as they'll be equipped with both armor and weapons, some of which are enchanted. New types of zombies include knights, brutes, rangers, and tanks. The ruined castle is like a dungeon, as it has multiple floors, with each one having enemies and chests of loot. A new boss is the Zombie King, who's going to be difficult to defeat. Also included with this mod is some new armor and tools, which are slightly stronger than Netherite, and can be crafted from diamonds and the tears of the Undead King. If you're interested in creating a zombie-filled world, check out my latest video. The Steamy Jetpack is a new item which can propel you into the air. It can be crafted from 2 thrusters, 2 redstone, 2 firework rockets, 1 gold ingot, and a piece of leather. You can activate the jetpack by sneaking, which will launch you upwards. When it's deactivated, it will allow you to hover off the ground, so it won't kill you. When the jetpack is in use, the durability will be drained. Crimson Compass adds quite a lot of new compasses to Minecraft. Firstly, there's a structure compass, with there being one for each vanilla structure, which will point towards shipwrecks, villages, pyramids, and more, whereas the death compass will point to your death location instead. If you have a bed, then you can use the bed compass to find your way home. Soul Sand Mobs adds 2 new creatures, which are the Flying Soul and the Soul Sand Ravager. The Flying Soul can drop soul hearts, which are used to make new soup, which will provide the levitation effect when consumed. Whereas Soul Sand Ravager will attack both the player and skeletons. True Weaponry adds over 50 new weapons to Minecraft, which have different rarities, stats, and abilities. A lot of new abilities will give a chance for you to receive a positive effect, such as regeneration, haste, or strength for a few seconds, whereas other swords can do double hits, inflict poison, or strike thunder. All these weapons have their own recipes, so again, I'd recommend just enough items. The Infinity Firework is a new item, which is especially useful for when using an elytra. It can be crafted from netherite ingots, 3 phantom membrane, a nether star, and a regular firework. If you right-click while holding the item, then an extra firework will be added to your hotbar. Bees Expansion adds some new content revolving around bees. Starting with a new enemy, wasps are hostile to both players and other bees, and are able to provide the poison effect. The new Beanade can be thrown, which will spawn 3 friendly bees to fight for you. The bee gun can be fired to launch a single friendly bee instead. Without a Redstone allows you to send redstone signals wirelessly. You can use both senders and receivers, as well as determine a frequency. I love these types of mods, as they're so useful for setting up lights, traps, and more. Rocks Revolution adds some useful content for when you're underground. Firstly, there's new bricks, stairs, and slabs for andesite, granite, and diorite, which looks great. To accompany them, there's new tools and swords for these materials. When mining, you might come across 2 new mobs. The first is a cave dweller, which will drop foods allowing you to stay underground for longer. There's also the construct, which is a type of golem. A new set of rocky armor is included, which provides the same stats as chainmail and has 100% knockback resistance. Included is some new goggles, which allows you to see in the dark, a coat which provides slow falling, leggings, which increase movement speed, and boots, which are fire resistant. Finally, there's the halberd, a new weapon which deals high amounts of damage. A new client-side mod is Falling Leaves. It just makes some small graphical improvements, as leaves will now fall from trees. In the configuration files, you can choose which trees should drop leaves and the frequency. Super Axes adds a new tool, which there are 6 tiers of, ranging from wood to netherite. They're great for chopping trees, as breaking a single block will bring down an entire tree. If you only want to break individual logs, then you can sneak instead. Excess Enchantments will add a lot of new enchantments to Minecraft. I won't list them all out, but I'll mention some of the most interesting ones. Marathon will reduce the amount of hunger used while sprinting, whereas Swift will increase your movement speed in general. Frost will apply the slowness effect to your targets. Vampire will allow you to regenerate some health each time you kill a target. And Warp will cause your targets to have a 25% chance of being teleported away. New Nether stuff starts by adding a new ore, which is Tanzanite, and can be found between layers 16 and 48. It can be used to craft some new armor, tools, and weapons, which is slightly stronger than Netherite. In their recipes, these new items will also require blaze rods, so they aren't too cheap to craft. Another new material comes with Witherite, which is even stronger than the previously mentioned Tanzanite, although it's a lot more difficult to craft, requiring obsidian, wither skeleton skulls, and nether stars. You can create the ingots inside of a blast furnace, which can be used to create the new tools, as no new armor is added with this mod. MerMod adds a new necklace, which can be crafted from 3 iron ingots and a diamond. It's equipped into the chest slot, and if you're wearing it whilst coming into contact with water, then you'll grow a mermaid's tail, which is purely visual. You can combine the necklace with 3 different dyes, which determines the color of your tail. Nile Archery will add a new bow, as well as a few new arrows. The bow is made from gold and can be found in bastions. It shoots twice as fast and has the same enchantability as other gold items. When it comes to arrows, there's sea arrows, which aren't stopped by water, ender arrows, which are able to hit endermen, comet arrows, which will summon a powerful comet on to hit enemies, and spectral arrows, which will cause your target to glow. When it rains, you'll find puddles spawning in your world over time, which are very thin like layers of snow. Though if you interact with them while holding an empty bottle, you can fill it with water. Dig adds a lot of new modules which can be toggled on or off, and are displayed on the HUD. You can show useful information like your frames per second, equipped armor, coordinates, ping, and biome. There's also an included compass at the top of the screen, where you can set custom waypoints and death points. If you press the K button, then you can enable ledge mode, and your character will stop before falling off any ledges without having to sneak. That's it for this week's list. Make sure to check out my other lists if you haven't, and my channel too, as I've covered many more videos for both Forge and Fabric. Leave a like and subscribe for more.